Okay, class, so welcome to this little video recording over the tutorial about WorldCat database in your search to find your research papers over the topic of leadership. So what I would suggest for you guys is to either have a piece of paper out where you can take notes of what I'm doing here on this tutorial, or better yet, maybe put out a split screen and move over my video to the left and open up a new browser on the right so you can follow along and pause when you need to and do exactly what I do and learn alongside me. So if that's what you're doing, I would suggest that you go ahead and open up another browser and start on google.com, just like I am here on this home page right here that you see right now. And when we're on Google here, what I want us to do is I want to go ahead and type in Oklahoma Digital Prairie, which we talked about earlier in class. So I have it pulled up right here, but Oklahoma Digital Prairie. We're going to pull that up, and it's going to be that first link right here that says the main page, and here's the actual web address, the URL. But we're going to go ahead and just click that link right there, and it pulls up to this home page. Now, you've seen this before. It's our Oklahoma Digital Prairie homepage, and on here you can see that there are several different databases you can use for research purposes. One is EBSCOhost. You have Botanical School and Spanish Reference Center. You have Oklahoma Digital Prairie Documents, Images, and Information. And then you have exactly what we're looking for today, which is WorldCat. So we're going to go ahead and click on WorldCat. And as it pulls up this page right here, I want to explain something a little bit different about why we're using WorldCat. So some of you may say, well, you know, I'm more comfortable with Google and it's really fast and easy and I can find information on the topic I'm looking for much easier than going all the way to WorldCat and trying to deal with these library databases, which can seem complicated at first. Well, my response to that would be that, you know, Google is very efficient and easy when you're trying to find information, and I use it all the time. It's a very, very good resource to have. However, when we're trying to write a research paper over a topic, and we want to make sure that our information is absolutely 100% correct as of, you know, the year that we're writing it, and we want to make sure our facts are good, we want to know for sure that we are using reliable and credible sources. Now, there is something called Google Scholar, which we'll go over in a later video, but it's much easier to find these credible sources using this database in the library because they search scholarly journals. Now, I know that sounds like a big word and it's scary, and what are scholarly journals? Well, scholarly journals are where you know, professors and people who have degrees in certain areas and are considered experts in their field write articles and conduct research over that specified field. And they actually have to have their peers from other universities or other parts of the world review their work and make sure that it's correct. And so it's called a peer-reviewed article, and they're put in these scholarly journals so that other people can use their research to further the knowledge around a subject. So for us, we're talking about leadership, and that's kind of your research topic, and you can go whatever way you want to, but I want to make sure that you're using scholarly, credible resources. So that's why we're here today. So here we are. Here's the front page of WorldCat on the Oklahoma Digital Libraries page. And as you can see, it's really simple. Here's your search bar. All right, so you may be tempted to say, well, my topic's leadership. So let's type in leadership. Well, let's see what happens. Leadership. All right, let's search it. Well, let's go ahead and look about how many sources there are. Just like Google, here's the top, tells you how many sources there are, how long it took. That's about 1 million. So there's about 1 million resources in this database over leadership. And they come in the forms of books and DVDs and videos and articles and all sorts of things that you could get through the library. So you may say, well, I'm not interested in books, I'm not interested in videos. You know, my teacher said that I need peer-reviewed articles. Well, look over here to the left where my cursor is, and we can see that there's all these different formats, and right here is our peer-reviewed article. Perfect. Let's click it. Let's narrow this search down using this filter. Well, what are we looking at? Well, we're still looking at 247,545 articles. That's a lot to go through to find something. So let's see what else we got. Well, we want to be super recent, like I said. We want to be on top of our information. So what's happened in 2015? So now we're down to leadership, we want peer reviewed, we want 2015, and we're down to 15,000. So we've cut 1 million to 15,000. That's pretty good, but that's still 15,000 you got to look at. And let's say we want English. Maybe some of you can read Spanish, and that's awesome. You could do that, but here we go. We're in English. Now we cut it down another 2,000 almost, but we're still kind of looking at some really tough stuff to get through. So I want to give you some tips and tricks to make this a lot easier. So what we want to do, we're going to click WorldCat, go back to the home page. Right underneath, there's this advanced search button. This is going to help you a lot. So let's go ahead and click it. And here we go. So here's our advanced search. We got a lot of stuff going on here. So let's start at the top. Now, like I said, Oklahoma Digital Library has more than WorldCat. So it actually gives you this cool feature where you can add and remove databases. You can look in EBSCOhost and all the different ones they have here. You can look in the other specific databases. You can check anything that you would like to search. But today we're going to stick with WorldCat. So I'm going to go ahead and X out of that box. And here we go. Here's another thing right here. So we have these search items in at least one of the following below. So instead of just one bar, we have 3 bars. And over here we have different things that we can put in. If we know the author we're looking for, we could put that. If we know the ISBN number, like for say a book or the title of a journal we're looking for, we could do that. But typically you're probably going to use keyword and title. All right, I would say stick with those two. So we're going to do keyword, and we're looking for leadership, okay? And we're also looking for, maybe what do you want to narrow it down to? Say you want to narrow it down to leadership in high school. So we're going to put high school right here. And what's important is that we keep these lowercase, because if you capitalize it, it's only going to look for capitalized words, so that can really hinder your search. Whereas if you keep it lowercase, it's going to look for lowercase and capitalized words. So that's a little trick as well. Now, another thing I want to talk to you about is what's called Boolean logic. Now, don't get caught up in what's Boolean logic and oh my gosh, this is a big word. It's really not hard. I'm going to give you three tips to use. The first is and. So it's capitalized, right? And this is going to help us search. So we can say we want to look for leadership and skills. So basically leadership skills, but we want to look for both those words as keywords in our search. What if we decide, I don't know if I want high school or I want college? Well, it's easy. Type in or, high school or college. So it's not going to look for both. It'll look for all articles that have either high school in the title or college in the title. So that's pretty handy. And then let's say like we want to look for leadership, but we really don't want to talk about sports because that's not what we're interested in. So we say we want leadership, not sports. So, and that would make sure that any topic would have leadership in it, but if the word sports is in it, it's not going to give it to you. So those are 3 really easy ways to look at it. What we're going to look at is we want to look at leadership skills in high school. So we're going to put leadership and skills, okay? So we're going to go down here. Here, this is an awesome button, right? Like I said, we want peer-reviewed articles in scholarly journals. So easy. I only want peer-reviewed articles, okay? Where do we want to search? Libraries worldwide is good because maybe we can use the stuff that they have. Year, we want it pretty recent, so we're going to say 2000 to 2016. Any audience, juvenile, non-juvenile, that really doesn't matter. You guys are smart kids. You can handle it. Content, fiction, nonfiction, that doesn't matter either because we're looking at peer-reviewed articles. Formats, we want an article. And then language, we want to get it in English. So now we put in all this stuff and we're going to go ahead and search. So let's see how many results we get now. We have only 109 sources. So now you've really specified what you're looking for using some Boolean logic, some keywords, title words, and now you have some stuff to look at. Okay, so now we're looking through stuff and we're like, man, I don't even know where to start. So the title is a perfect place to start. Learning leadership skills in high school. That seems like exactly what we're looking for. So we're going to go ahead and click that. And when we pull up this page, it gives you a little brief overview of what this article is about. So we can look, you can say, all right, learning leadership skills in high school. That's the title. The author is Richard Bowman. It's in English. Here's the journal we're looking at. Sounds pretty official. Journal of Educational Strategies. It is peer-reviewed. And here's a little abstract. So the abstract is a brief summary about what the article is about, so you can read it, and you kind of read through that right there, and you say, yeah, this is what I'm looking for. This is something that maybe I could use. So what you're going to do is, look, here, get this article. Find a copy online. So there's 3 versions online. So say I'm going to click this, see what happens. Well, this is where you're going to put in that library card number that you have and your password. Okay, well, I don't have one, so let's see if there's another way I can get it. So we're going to go down, and this is called the digital object identifier. Okay, so this is the unique identifier for this specific source so that everyone can find it online when they want it. So we're going to go ahead and click that. It's going to open a new tab, and here you go. It's at the Clearinghouse, a Journal of Educational Studies. So this is the journal. It's in volume 87, issue 2, written in 2014, so it's recent. So now I just want to look at the PDF. All right, I'm going to download that PDF file right there. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like, right? This is what your article is going to look like. Again, don't get overwhelmed by what it looks like, okay? So this is another way to just really look at and make sure that this is a scholarly journal. So we're going to come down here. All right, so we know it's in a scholarly journal. We know it's about what we're talking about. Now another thing to look at is, who is this Richard Bowman? How do we know that he's a credible source? Well, let's see if there's anything about the author on here. Oh, here we go. Richard F. Bowman is Professor Emeritus of Clinical Practice at Winona State University in Winona, Minnesota. So he is a professor, and that gives him credibility on the subject. And it's been peer-reviewed and all of that. So here's your article. You can go through and read it and see what the study was all about. Look at the other references that he used in this study and all of that. So overall, we're going to briefly go over what I did again. So first, go to the Oklahoma Digital Prairie website. You know what? Let's just do it from the beginning. We'll do it real fast as a brief overview. Start at Google. Okay? Google Oklahoma Digital Prairie. There it is. Now we're going to go to that main page. We're going to come down here and click WorldCat. We're not going to use the easy search button. We're going to use the advanced search button so that we don't get caught up in that. Our keyword was leadership and skills, because we want leadership skills. Our title, we want to make sure that we're talking about high school, right? We only want peer-reviewed. We want libraries worldwide. We want recent stuff, so we're going to use 2000, 2016. Don't worry about the audience or the content. We do want articles. We do want English. Search. You can go through all of the different sources that you would like, right? You can even narrow your search down using different years if that's what you're looking for. We go ahead and click the title of what we're interested in. We can read the summary. We can make sure it's peer-reviewed. We can make sure it's in a journal. We're going to go ahead and click full text, type in our library card and password, and then you'll have the article. You can go ahead and print off the PDF, read it, and apply it to your research. I hope this has been a very helpful tutorial for you. Again, if you have any questions, please don't fail to ask me either in class, over email, whatever way that I can communicate with you to help you out. Again, WorldCat is not the only database that you can use. It's one of many. But please ask me before you use a different one so that I can make sure that you're using a good source. Good luck on your paper. Again, I'm here if you need me, and thanks for watching.